Purging the great forests of Lorelorn was proving to be a difficult task. Nurgle's forces were deeply entrenched and well supplied from the Brass Keep, and Orion's losses had been mounting up at an unacceptable rate. The combined might of Glade Lord Findle and the God King of the Forest was enough to see Festus and several of his most trusted generals slain and left for mulch, but at great cost to Orion's own warhost. Fresh troops had arrived recently from ATHEL LOREN. Even though his host was not yet back at full strength, the king knew if they did not continue their momentum, Nurgle's forces would recover and force the Azrai into a long and costly war of attrition. So the order was given to surround Middenheim and prepare for an assault. On the home front, Grom the Paunch had made another incursion into Azrai territory. However, this time, instead of a lone untested spellweaver, he ran into the full might and fury of Arguilan's treekin. The greenskins were ripped to pieces, ending the upstart Gobbo's plans with very little casualties. The way was now open, albeit momentarily, to crush the rest of Grom's tribe and bring his brutal raids on the populace to an end. Icarin would need to lure the last remaining armies from the protection of their walls before slaughtering all those still squatting in the Massif. Our spellweaver Vilgen had also recovered well from her fight with the Skaven, and was preparing to investigate a disturbance in the forest. Trees whispered of trespassers, but had no more information to provide except for
Purge them.
and so Vilgen went, to find and destroy whatever dared step foot in the sacred forests. Several confused and exhausted elves had been picked up on the trails by the Way Watchers, and when brought back to health in ATHEL LOREN, they spoke of being attacked by dryads with an eerie purple glow, but they remembered nothing else from the experience. Upon receiving the report in his siege camp, Orion's suspicions were immediately drawn to Drycha and her handmaidens. She never forgave the Azrai for imprisoning the ancient forest spirit Coeddil in the Wildwood, the dark portion of ATHEL LOREN where only the forest spirits dared tread, and has been no doubt working tirelessly in the shadows to bring about his return. So long ago it had nearly faded from memory, the treekin invasion of the King's Glade, where Coeddil fought to slaughter as many of the wild riders as possible, stop Orion's cycle of rebirth, thus allowing the treekin to finally drive the Azrai from ATHEL LOREN once and for all. It was only by the intervention of the Mage Queen Ariel that total disaster was averted and the spirits routed. As Coeddil was one of the 3 ancient tree spirits bound to ATHEL LOREN, and Ariel herself was also bound to the forest, she could not kill Coeddil for his treachery any more than she could slay herself. Instead, he was imprisoned with the other treekin corrupted by his malevolence in the deepest parts of the Wildwood, and sealed inside by rings of magical waystones. If he was ever freed from his prison, there is no imagining the death and destruction that would ensue. Orion would need to quickly deal with Nurgle if he was to save his people. And welcome on in everyone to part 7 of our Orion campaign. In today's episode, we are here for some brutal revenge against the forces of chaos. They conquered back Middenheim from us, and now it's time to once again purge this territory and claim it back for Orion. We've got to do our best to try to minimize casualties in this battle so we can keep our momentum up in the coming fights. If we can push all the way to the Brass Keep and fully exterminate Festus now, that would be fantastic, because we have many more forces of chaos starting to breach the shores of the Empire, so we need to deal with Festus quick, that way we can get to dealing with the outside invaders as well. Alright, let's get this battle started. We will also have some reinforcements coming on in from the side here with Findle, but I have swapped up the armies a smidge here. We'll have Orion, let's put him in non-missile mode, just charge on in and break down those gatehouse walls. Shoot everyone else forward. Everyone with a bow, come on up and start dealing your damage. The Way Watchers are the only ones that actually have armor piercing, so we'll launch some nonsense of the Kurgan Hunters there. They're already getting torn to shreds by our archers. We don't quite have the high ground, but we'll make do. You come on in, we'll leave the cavalry back, although it wouldn't be a bad call to send them in and have them start working through the gates on the other side there, so let's have them do that. Start claiming some points and knocking down these other towers. Will be the only real hope Chaos has for doing damage to us. As this group here on the walls get absolutely torn to shreds. Pull the Blade Riders up a bit. Blade Captain as well. Have you launch some fun blessings of Kurnos on in.
Wildwood Rangers.
The Wildwood Rangers come on up.
Understood.
Yeah, we've got a nice little blanket of arrows to launch down on top of them. We can throw down the dwellers below as well. A small little gap. Now they're going to turn around. Now they're not sure what they want to do. The dwellers already grabbed a couple of them, so they're going to take that damage over time regardless. They flee on away, though. Where's my Waystalker? Go ahead and drop down the Prey of Anathrema on this guy here. They do have some towers blasting away back at us now, so we do need to quickly get through these walls. Run around where we can to avoid taking as much damage as possible. The Prey of Anathrema didn't work. Was it because they were up on the walls? Or he needs to get much closer to actually activate it? That would make sense, I guess. Looks like they're sending some friggin' hunters around to stop our wild riders, but it's too late. Reinforcements arrive. Bring them on forward. We'll have the Way Watchers coming on up. Blade Riders as well. We'll have you guys take the walls the old-fashioned way. The riders come on in and break through the gates. That would be perfect. Alright, we are still taking some shots from the towers there, which is not awesome. We've not lost any units just yet, it doesn't look like. We may have lost a few of the Glade Riders. Go ahead and drop down the Prey of Anathrema on this group. They decided to come on in. The fools. Then we have Siege Attacker. We're taking years to get through the gates here. Drop down some heals on, I guess, everyone up front here. Looks like the Wild Rangers are allowed to heal. Unless they've already hit their heal cap and they're lying to me. We'll find out pretty soon. Everyone with a missile attack, fire on these friggin' hunters. We'll pull you guys on around. Push back just a little bit. Excellent. Let's go ahead and drop down the Awakening the Wood in there. Looks like these gates are being a bit obnoxious. There are some Kurgan mounted hunters. We'll pull them back once the gates go down. And let the archers do their thing. All of our new archers come on over and start launching arrows at those Kurgan mounted hunters. That sounds great. And then we'll have the War Dancers and such move on in. Alright, the gates are open. Pull back. Scooch on back over to the big boy squad, and we'll drop down another overcast. Dwellers below in but a moment. Are we through these gates yet? Good grief. There you go, Orion. Go ahead and dive on in. More charge bonus, and then more melee defense, and then we'll go ahead and dive into battle. The Zotes will go ahead and drop down to the Flesh to Stone on Orion, give him some more resistance. Looks like the whole squad wants to move up. Let's blast apart that unit there before moving too much far forward, and then we'll drop down the Dwellers below on all of these lovely units moving in to surround Orion. These guys are all fleeing, which fair enough. You three put you on guard mode. Blade guards set up here. Way Watchers, wherever you want. I think we can just charge on in and break these Kurgan Hunters as a squad here. Do the same, break on in and smash them. Ryan and the Zotes doing very well. I'm thinking our Glade, or our Spellweaver, they just took names and slayed half the squad there. Yeah, the Zotes moving in. 4 Kurgan Hunters. Grab some more charge bonus, keep ripping on through this this main unit here. Looks like there's some Kurgan Hunters coming on forward. We'll grab all of our archers and we'll tear them to shreds. You guys move on up, break these Warhounds so we can drop down the heal. No need to overcast it. Yeah, squad completely overran these Kurgan Hunters here. They thought they were tough. Let's get the Way Watchers up onto the walls then, and then all of our other units can start moving on forward. Into, oh, nope, there's the white flag. We lost, looks like maybe 70 if we're unlucky there. Perfect. I'm actually going to do some healing, and I'll catch you all in a moment. Alright. We'll take the win, and the numbers speak for themselves. The Dwellers below still is just as powerful as always, 247 kills. It just annihilates blobs of low armor enemies. We are going to be using it as such. Thankfully, we finally have some magic on our side. That is a lot of gold sacked settlement. I'm quite tempted. Clear the hearthland. We still, I think, retain a bit of movement, but I think claiming it would be better. Let's go ahead and sack it first, and then we'll have the Glade Lord Findle go ahead and claim. Diliana's on a great stag now. Perfect. And the other one, well, there's 2 Dilianas here. That's not going to work. She's on a steed, so she'll be able to zoom around a little faster as well. We'll take Middenheim off your hands, thank you.
At your service.
And I'm not going to give it back to either Nordland or the rest of the Empire either. This belongs to me now.
What do you
It's
need?
got a lovely... What doesn't actually have the landmark we could use? It's a strategic location for the Empire. Warriors of Chaos, Bretonia, and Norska. Interesting. Not the Empire. Sell it off to the Bretonians to try to cause some problems. We will go ahead and grab the guard platform here in Middenheim, and then also invest in, I think perhaps the Haunted Groves will be a bit to actually upgrade. Another Waystock. Probably not a bad idea, but I think increasing our overall income and growth in all of our provinces, also really good idea. Best way to do so, extra replenishment rate. Yeah, that'll be the way there. Trappers in for more replenishment rate.
Lord of the Glade.
Our 2 Glade captains in Findle's army also leveled up. I cannot wait till you guys have your great stags. We'll grab the second point of the Possessed by the Trickster God, and then we'll kind of double up on the Kin Band captain. As much ammunition as we can carry.
Master of the Wild Hunt.
Dodon, we'll give you... And we're already ready to start dropping it into the Martial Mastery skill dump. We'll go ahead and just grab... Specialist then. We'll double down on it.
King in the
For Diliana,
woods.
we'll give you... Since you're on a great stag now, probably a good idea to grab some more missile resistance, and then the other point can go into increased mobility.
The forest.
Other Diliana, who
calls.
definitely needs a different name. What's the comments? What should we name our spellslinger here? She will be the one we change, and I will go ahead and take you all's ideas on what we'll go ahead and name her. We'll grab the Arcane Conduit, and then the point into regrowth so we can keep Orion fighting as long as he wants. Keep the blood flowing. For core, I mean Kane.
Can I offer assistance?
Yes, you can. You can indeed. We'll give our squad the Kin Band captain. Make sure we have all of the extra ammunition. Be 50% extra total in forest battles, and then we'll go ahead and also increase our income. Get those passive buffs are rolling. Actually, anyone that doesn't have a forest spirit needs one. You don't have a forest spirit?
The hunter.
You do.
Proud
Oh, you don't
son
either.
of ATHEL LOREN.
Enemy leadership dropped by 5. I want to see how many of these we can layer up. Does Icarin say exactly how many of them are all in one spot? Enemy leadership, oh, you can only... Oh, how sad. Unless that's just for himself. That's another thing you need to... If you all can... If you all do know, let me know. Can you layer up the forest spirits? We're doing it just because that much enemy leadership drop sounds like it'd be a nightmare for them to deal with, but I don't know that it's actually doing what we think it is. Go ahead and combine these two up here. Grab a Helm of Discord, and that can go on Icarin, who is home fighting for Home and Hearth, although... Well, that's a worthy battle. The one against Festus is far more worthy, so... Findle, for joining the call, will get himself a nice helmet.
Highborn, Lord of ATHEL LOREN.
Oh, hello there. A bit closer than I wanted to get. Scroll of Amber, which would go on... Oh, nice. Just a
I weave the living
lovely
forest.
extra leadership debuff. Let's go ahead and throw that on our Spellweaver here, Diliana. Scroll of Amber, and then scoot back once more there and grab the Tormentor Sword just for something extra to swing at them. Lovely.
Ready to
Right,
serve.
Orion, we're going to bring you through.
You have my blessing.
And we'll let Findle
Your
recruit up some
request
more
is reasonable.
Honestly, Glade Guard are probably the call. Going into global right now would just take far too long, so we're just going to grab some kind of cheap and cheerful Glade Guard, and we'll pass them off something better later on. So 4 of these guys, and then just some more spears to halt the enemy for a moment.
Lord of the Forest.
We've got one more turn till we can grab some extra summons. Oh, no, even for them. Some extra summons of these ROR units. The Wardens of Sithral are going to be great, and low-X Tricksters as well.
Shield of ATHEL LOREN.
I'll wait till some of these, the sweats. They can't fire bows, they're too busy sweating all over the place. And Glixis is also going to be a problem. I am not going to go ahead and invest in the Arbiter's Perch here, so hopefully we can defend with what we have, and if not, hopefully the Emperor can turn around and help us out. We'll see, though. We got 4,000 left over here. See what kind of damage we can get to. This is only a few turns later. Icarin's come on over. We're jumped into an ambush stance to try to catch these 2 guys off foot. I don't think they'll come on out of the Massive War Call until they have Grom again, but we can hope. And if so, we can go on out and crush them. If they're going to stay there, we're going to warp through and try to attack some Bretonnians there so we can quickly confederate up with Torgavon, claiming all of ATHEL LOREN and then getting that dealt with.
The Waker of Trees.
Vil'jin also has a very important job. We're going to let her replenish for one more turn, and then we're going to see what's going on in the forest over here. It doesn't say it's going to happen this turn, so forest is still whispering our way. We'll have a bit of time to engage. Boy, I really don't like the number of Dawi gathering in the north.
Aye. My axe thirsts for war.
Oh, good grief. I'm thinking of war with Clan Angren is just over on the horizon. Save some gold. We've almost got enough so we can actually upgrade the King's Glade up to a hall. Perfect. Give us some really good units to just naturally be able to recruit. As long as we've got the forge, we can get the Swift Silver Shards. And we're going to grab the Azrai Forge as soon as we can. Perfect. So Vil'jin, let's take you into not just the normal garrison stance. Save a bit of gold perhaps, and we'll go ahead and jump on into our diplomacy. The Dissenter Lords of Genshin would like to trade. I'm not going to trade with the Rebel faction in Cathay. That seems like a bad call. Alabheim, I will go ahead and grab the military access so they don't trespass and cause us any issues. We are trying to nurture the Empire back to health. Not the plan we initially had, but they've been beaten out of our forest, so we can claim the forest back from the Empire, and we can let them have the plains where they belong. And they will be a nice, juicy shield for us from whatever chaos and the rats rise up. If we could turn them against the Dawi, that'd be great. The only lord that has not been moved is Vil'jin.
Spellweaver.
We could grab some reinforcements from Arguilan. I think it would be a good idea to kind of wait for a moment, because once they... Let's see how well they're doing over here at the Waterfall Palace. Watcher's Garrison and a winery. That's not exciting. Rick Norn. So they're not really doing much building yet, so we may just want to grab some extra troops when we need them.
Glade Lord, at your service.
I'm having Akka come on out to investigate over...
Impossible.
Slanesh owns the Gained Vale? What happened? Nakari seemed to have run over the High Elves. We may need to get over there and help soon. Yeah, so Akka's coming on over here to get in contact with the High Elven brethren we've got going. We've defeated Grom with 2 different lords now, so that gives us lots of extra relations with all of the High Elf factions. It's like 20 total now, extra. So we'll skip on through here. We've got an outpost we can build. And actually, I think we will. Weissmund is... I actually don't know which of these... Weissmund looks like where most everyone is, so that's where we'll plop in the outpost. It's going to be very expensive. So, you know what? No. No outpost. We want to be able to upgrade the King's Glade next turn. We'll throw in the outpost if we have some extra gold. And turn. Oh, fun. Some beastmen. A cloaked stranger from the mist-shrouded land of Albion approaches with a request. He is of sinister aspect, but assures you that his intentions are good. Here we could grant his request and gain some undivided corruption in all provinces. Gross. +6 for 3 turns would only give us 18 total. Or we could refuse this creature for a bit of corruption. Man. Since I don't think anything extra happens after this, let's go ahead and forge the Rings of Power, and we'll take a bit of corruption for the gold. Not something Orion would do. But if they're offering tribute to the King of the Forest, who are we to turn them down? We'll see how much we get punished for that one there. Ally mission aborted, and then we've got Croc Man Ripper. Lovely. Comes on back with some flair. Yeah, that's a nasty bit of rebellion there. Loren Forest is in trouble. They could, I think they could pretty easily defend themselves if these Empire soldiers weren't here to flog things up. I'm going to go ahead and tell them they're trespassing, and that will at least let us crush them if we need to later on. I think we will claim Middenstag and give it over to... I don't know about Boris, maybe Nordland, so we can get them on side and fix up our forest a bit faster. Either way, we come on in here, we grab some more ROR units. Thank you, please. Yeah, we'll grab both these just because they're front line.
These are dark times.
Alright, and then we swing on over and attack Grunwald. I want Orion to get most of the experience. While we should probably deal with the Beastmen, we can come back to this. They will likely just kind of stay and raid. He will not. He'll come out and cause some problems.
I thirst for the hunt.
Siege. We've got to chase down these last two soldiers here. Let's go ahead and surround. They've just got some normie marauders. It'll be an easy fight. Then they'll come on in. I'd like to make sure you can get on over in camp stance.
Forest has spoken.
And I'll have Findle claim the city.
Starting out.
There we go. A bit of an auto-resolve here. I was going to auto-resolve very few of these battles, but this is a stomping. So, see you fools later. Make sure we lose nothing. A sneaky nonsense going on. We lose 0 in the battle, which is exactly how it would be. And we'll go ahead and just occupy Grudenwald. We get ourselves another forest spirit, and become courageous. Findle the Chaos Breaker. Awesome. Grudenwald has a plague, though. Is it just good old Festus's ague? He has so many extra infections floating around. I'm actually going to grab the Craftsman's Tree here for the extra not research, but trade materials. And then we'll throw down... Forest lookouts aren't great here. We could throw down... Buildings would be worth it. We really just need to make more money. Before building any of this, though, let's see, can we go ahead and upgrade Kingsglade back home? Oh, we can. So she's running through... Oh, Ikitclaw. And we are being invaded. ATHEL LOREN is invaded on all sides. Go ahead and upgrade the Kingsglade. How many turns till this activates? Not next turn. We have hopefully a few turns to deal. There's a whole bunch of nonsense going on up here, and Argwylan is stomping out the Bretonnians. Stomp them out less aggressively. We need to make sure we win some battles. I'm going to actually send Ikrin.
Can I offer assistance?
I would send them through, but I think they're going to probably claim Castle Bastone and keep moving up the coast here. Argwylan's causing all sorts of problems for us. We may end up having to declare war on some of these others, or we may just have to confederate Torgovan the old-fashioned way. Which would be fine. So in that case, we'll just leave Ikrin here. Let him try to ambush. Got 85% chance to succeed. Those stone trolls. Oh, good. Oh, good.
No!
The bane of our existence approaches. We've got the Wildwood Rangers. If we can get them fighting in the woods, I think we can drag them down with the Sundering and Armor Piercing ourselves. Hit them with their own medicine there.
You called?
If not, we'll have a very, very bad time.
I weave the living forest.
Good to hear. On top of weaving the living forest, we need you to come on in here now and grab some extra bolts of the forest. We definitely need to make sure our missiles are
Spellweaver of ATHEL LOREN.
maximized. Because these are just going to give us a bit more melee attack, which is great, but more missile and reload time sounds fantastic. Okay, so let's come on over here. Ickiclaw is in a march stance. We can't actually reach. That's concerning. Guess let's at least get over to defend the glade. Although if we move over here and take down the forest encounter, we should be able to come on back at least a little ways. And if they do surround the King's Glade, what does it get fielding?
Stop now!
Yeah, that's no problem. We're gonna trespass on Torgavon, which is gonna make them mad once more here, but we have to deal with the forest encounter, so you have to get over yourself.
Weaving a path.
We are in charge of protecting this forest, since you're too lazy to do it. Bretonian forces have been spotted venturing into the edges of the forest. They're pilgrims, seeking to present an ancient relic at a chapel lost within the woods. This relic does indeed have power, and could aid the healing of the world roots. You could let them leave their offerings and claim them for yourself as soon as they have left. Forest spirits are enraged at this incursion and demand a response in force. Oh, so we've gotta punish Bretonia or lose growth and leadership and control. Well, you know what it is. Let's get in there and punch him in the face. Oh, and they're gonna bring all sorts of Knights of the Realm and some Pegasus Knights to fight. Alright, not an easy battle at all. Julien Le Setterson. He has a Poor of Bretonia trait. Hermit Knights will always put his honor before his life and shuns material possessions. He blinds people when he hits them. Well, this is gonna be a mess. The Knights of the Realm are pretty nasty. All of the changes to Bretonia, and there's 60 of them still? Okay, so Radious bumped the number. I think these guys are supposed to have less than 60 now. But Radious has bumped it on up. And if I'm wrong, that's also fair. So they got some Knights Errant, some Questing Knights. Pegasus as well. Not gonna be an easy battle at all. As our Wild Riders are much less heavily armored and will lose that battle in the long run. We do get to ambush them though, so that'll be a bit more useful. Let's get in there and do what we can. Battle begin. Punishment of Bretonia. Alright, let's see how we can best make use of our terrain to rain death upon the enemy here. Start deployment. We've got some lovely trees to kind of hide some spearmen in, which is going to be great. I think it's a good call to not let the knights out of this position here. And kind of set up with all of our war dancers and such to kind of stop them. Problem is we have to be in the woods and advance towards them to start, which is not really what you want to do with the Knights of Bretonia. No matter what here, they're going to get out of this position and cause some ruckus. That's a lot of knights. Let's see. Put the Glade Riders behind so they can kind of harass the Pegasus Knights with arrows. These guys all have the Blessing of the Lady. Thank goodness. If they did, that would be horrifying, to say the very least. She's got 100 speed. These guys have 84. She should very well be able to get away. Basically, the plan is once they turn to try to fight Wildwood Rangers, we then unleash the roots of the forest. Square up a bit there. I don't think we can leave the archers here, though, to fight. I think we need to... Here's kind of the issue with that. If we set up somewhere else with the archers, they will likely get cut down by those knights. So, set up swords over here. 2 swords on this side. May have to spread them out a little bit. We'll just kind of keep the swords there. Then we'll have all of the Glade Guard kind of spread out. So, 2 of them in the forest here.
Glade Guard!
Fire on out of the woods.
For the eternal realms!
You guys can get a bit further back. Plan just being to coat the knights and arrows the second the battle begins. Glade Guard there. They do fight fairly well for themselves, but they will get annihilated by the knights. So we will want to make sure we
Orders?
do our best to stop that. Throw the healed Wild Riders on this side and then the other two on the other end. They will likely break through. Well, I guess they'll try their best. These guys are in the woods. They're going to get all sorts of extra buffs and bonuses. We'll fight as hard as we can. Guard mode, and then keep you off melee to start.
I hear the forest.
Alright, not going to be an easy battle, but we'll do what we can. We got to keep her well away from the Hermit Knight. Wherever he is going to be a problem. That'll begin. You three all focus down in the Pegasus.
No!
Alright, that did really good damage. The Glade Guard are going to be
Your orders?
blown up on by everyone no matter what. Scoot back. Let those arrows keep flying.
Hurry!
Break them. Shoot you all out. Looks like there's a whole bunch of knights in this front part here, so we'll go ahead and drop down and overcast dwellers below. Could grab all of them, and then we can go for some heals on everyone that's fighting. Lovely. Turn around, turn around. Where's my Wild Rider? You guys charge on in here and break these knights errant. Keep firing on the Pegasus Knights. Let's have you, Glade Guard. Focus fire. Don't move forward. Focus fire. Looks like most of them are going to flee. We'll have to chase them down after this, won't we? We've at least cut down their knights, so it makes the next battle much easier. Let's slow these knights right down so they're not charging in and out of the fray. Perfect, they're just going to keep charging in and getting cut down. Exactly what we want. Flesh to stone these guys here so they fight a bit harder. We can try to break these questing knights that are charging on away from our lasses of battle. Give them some more melee defense. They can hunt them down. And they all ran. He left his knights to die and brought his peasants with him. An interesting Lord of Bretonia he is. Come on in here, Glade Riders. Just keep launching the arrows on in. We'll have one of the other Wild Riders come on out. Kind of hoped they would turn and face us, but no, they're gonna run. I mean, we win the battle and we get the easy forest health, but it's a bit sad. There's the victory. All right, let's chase down as many of these knights as we can. Take these guys off of guard mode so they can hunt freely. On in there, alrighty. We have chased off the Knights of Bretonia. Now it's time to hunt down the peasants. Catch you in a moment. Alright, so I guess what happened there was Julian said legate. Only the peasants knew what that meant. Except for the bowmen, they turned to fight. Pretty much all of the knights were slaughtered to a man. A couple of the Knights of the Realm got on out, so we'll have to fight them in the next battle. But under half health, I'm not as worried about them as I was before. We will go ahead and abduct these captives and get right on back up to max health here.
Isha requires this.
And Julian, oh, he of course flees well to the north. Luckily, though, that's just a bunch of peasants, and I'm not really concerned about that. And if he is up and bothering Daith and Torgavon, it's going to be all sorts of issues for him. So let's go ahead and come on down.
Lured by song.
I think a secondary battle there will count as our fights against Bretonia, too. Sure does. Awesome. Well, if I can try to fight them and not wipe out the whole force next time we engage them, we can just fight one more battle and then confederate right on up. Saying's excellent. Alright, let's come on over to...
Can I offer assistance?
You're staying here. I'd like to pull you back a little ways, though. You're really in a dangerous spot. See how many of the enemy come on over. Lord not moved is Icarin. We'll skip through there. I want to assign skill points. Where you're at.
I share the forest's thoughts.
Here with Orion.
Master of the Wild Hunt.
The secondary Delietta here. Give her a second point into regrowth. Finish that on off. And then for
Proud
Blade
son
Captain
of
version,
ATHEL LOREN.
I will give you another point into boost income and then piercing shots. Fendel
Lord of the
needs
Glade.
something to probably boost his soldiers a bit more. So he's got a bunch of just Eternal Guard. That's not where he's going to end up with. So
How
I
can
think
I
we're just going to
assist
leave
you?
Bolts of the Forest in for now. And then as far as everything else goes, May just go for the Nature's Salve to kind of help with the control and corruption up here in the north with Nurgle. And the other forces of Chaos. Findle is going to stay up here in the north and fight even after we deal with Nurgle. Meanwhile, Orion may have to teleport on off to deal with something else. So let's grab Nature's Salve. We're actually going to double down on that. Nah, not yet. Later on. I'm going to grab Visitor's Endeavor times 2. He's in battle where we need him.
My will is yours.
Right. So Orion. Oh, do we do that backwards? I wanted Findle to be the one that captured the town. We did indeed. That just means that Ragnar and Dimahar may be more likely to attack him. Next, no matter what happens over here in the Black Pit, we are attacking the Brass Keep and bringing Festus to ruin. Skip on through the damaged buildings we have.
Yes.
Greenwald. Spend the gold now to repair it, and then don't have the gold for anything else yet.
Fear the bat.
City Commander.
Who called? To war.
Okay, we don't have enough. Fair
The
enough.
Queen of Time.
We'll grab a new ally mission from Argwylan. Scragga. We'll end the turn.
Following your orders.
Right, Clan Scryer is going after the King's Glade, and unfortunately for him, the auto-resolve is going to be very nice to us. So I'm going to actually go ahead and eviscerate Hicket Claw the old-fashioned way. Go on home, bud. That was not really very Pyrrhic at all. Sorry there. I will take the money.
Your forebears weep tears of blood in their
Oh, good
eternal
grief.
halls.
Tears of
Such
blood. Eben would like... Oh, Wissenland is just declaring war on us. Are you sure about that? Alright, we'll bring Midland to help. Of a war in the Empire. I don't think you're as tough as you think. Alright, Ikrin is now an ambuscator, so he's very good at performing the old ambush. Like Phage Rangers came up here and karate chopped that other army. I'm tempted to move in and deal as much damage as we can. Shadowgore, of course, ignored our trespassing warning. We're about to have another rebellion at Lower Loren Forest, which is not great.
Zoggoth.
He does have the Snotling pump wagons and quite a bit of pretty heavily armored orc boys there.
Your orders are acceptable.
We'd like to drag as many of these guys into a fight as we can. He's going for the final... That just gives us recruitment. Never mind. I thought that was going to be stuff for extra defenses. He's already got the big walls on in. Roglud's armored orcs. We can recruit Ragnarok spiders. Things are about to get real spicy. Back up here in the north. Just gonna sit around and raid everything they can. You steal from the forest, and Nurgle flees.
Highborn.
You'll love to see it.
Lord of the
Alright,
forest.
Orion, it's time. Oh, you cannot quite reach the Brass Keep, can Findle. Find out
Blade Lord.
momentarily.
At your service.
Make sure you have... I think a bit more health is probably useful for this next battle, and then I'll take the speed as well. Make sure she's on the battlefield where we need her. Okay, so Orion, come on out. Well, let's make sure Findle can reach.
You need me? I acquiesce to
He
your
can't
request.
either. Okay, fair enough. We'll just have you go into a encamp stance.
Anything is possible.
Move to the Brass Keep,
Traveling.
and Orion can just come on in behind.
thirst for the hunt.
Lovely.
Away I go. I will grant your request. The hunt calls.
Our vengeance was swift. Though it looks like the Empire is really having some issues with all of the Norskins running around. Everyone except for Marienburg, which is pretty suspicious. Oh, perfect. They turned around to face us. Let's go ahead and fight this battle against Julian. We're going to actually face it on the field so we can try not to take out all of them, or it's going to end the battle as soon as it's over. And hope we can fight them a third time and just quickly
Strike them
confederate
down.
up with Portavon. Battle. Alright. We do have the high ground here. It'd be really unfortunate for them. We'll go ahead and start deployment and then get things started. So we'll grab the spears.
Orders.
We'll want to make sure we push up into the woods as we get some combat buffs from it being in so. And we'll grab the Wildwood Rangers because they have some armor piercing. Both sides. Then the spears had stopped any nonsense with the cav. Lovely. Grab these 3 archers, throw them up front, and then the others right behind them.
Defenders of ATHEL LOREN.
Nice little blanket of arrows. Scoot these guys off to the side.
Blade guard.
Can't all get shut down by the same group of cav.
Word infantry.
Square formations.
I consent.
When else ready to go, we'll have all of the Glade Riders up front. Cause a ruckus with this group of cavalry. We'll have you two to overwhelm them in case they try anything funny. Guard mode, but not in melee mode. We'll have the other group of Wild Riders over here. To defend our War Dancers and threaten their charge. Alright, that'll begin. Push the infantry squad up into the woods.
In Isha's name.
Blade Riders are causing some problems already. Being nice and annoying. Scoot on away and let the Wild Riders charge on down and break them. Keep scooting back. We'll have you guys go on over and chase down that group as you guys continue to retreat.
At speed! Ride them down!
Alright, lovely. They're coming on up the front, so let's go ahead and drop down the Overcast Dwellers below. Just rip them to shreds. Wild Riders, you can go ahead and chase off. There's 2 of them. Let's go that way. You guys go ahead and charge on out. Break these guys here. Double down on the arrow storm.
Blade guard.
Put on the heels in advance since they're fighting against someone that is seeming to be a bit stronger than they are. Alright, now it's time to just kind of roll down the line then.
At speed.
Chase them off.
Blade riders.
You'll have the other Glade Riders come up and around. Explosion of these peasants here as they move up. And looks like some of the knights made it in our archers. I pushed them forward, but I didn't actually do anything more than that, so let's have the Wild Riders charge in and break them. Let the archers just keep doing their thing.
Aim. Fire.
Regrowth on pretty much any of the groups of archers. We'll grab these guys since it's likely they're going to charge in on them. Burn and fire.
Deepwood archers.
Ready and waiting.
Just run them over.
Riders of ATHEL LOREN.
Our mage will have you keep jogging on around. Yeah, I think those. Oh, they got in on a different group.
Your command.
Goofy knights.
Blade guard.
I hear the forest.
Awakening the wood here. Explode that group of peasants.
Ready to ride!
I think most of their knights just went all the way around.
Yes.
Ready to fire.
Which is both lame and boring.
Ordains it.
Poke them with the spears, but chase them on down.
Ready for orders.
Those Wildwood Rangers are fighting so well in the woods, as one would expect. Lovely combat between the glaive wielders and the battle pilgrims. And they've got reach, they've got armor piercing, they should rip them apart. Our archers are a little bit close. Next time we'll keep them back. They are glade guards. They actually defend themselves pretty well. But we want to make sure we're not sacrificing soldiers for the heck of it. Go ahead and drop down a overcast regrowth on these War Dancers here. They're blinded, but we'll make sure they're healing as much as we can.
At once.
We're going to try not to slay them to the very last.
ATHEL LOREN.
Looks like the Hermit Knight might be unbreakable. If that's the case. No, he's not. Perfect.
Ready and
Charge these
waiting.
War Dancers on in. We'll go ahead and switch them off with their melee attack form. That's the victory. We quickly go ahead and just click the end battle button. Hopefully we get another fight. Alright, that's a victory, but it looks like not all of them have fallen, so we should get another battle. We will go ahead and abduct these captives as well and get our punishment on up to full, which is great.
Accept this fate.
Oh, Viljan's got a unicorn now. Its four-headed adorned with a spiral horn, this noble mount carries the Spellweaver where her magical gifts are needed most. Move very fast.
I weave the living forest.
Oh, lovely. So we got Weaver the Winds, so cooldown minus 15% for all spells, as well as a bit more magic. Low X Blessing gives us what now? Speed and unstoppable. Or not unstoppable, unspottable in the area around her. And then she gets a bound spell of Dwellers Below. Okay, more damage sounds great. And we'll go ahead and grab Rain of Spines while we're at it. Yeah, let's go ahead and grab Rain of Spines. Ooh, that's a lot of speed. Speed first. Spines later. We've got no extra armor to pass on out. We are all tapped in that department. Go ahead and crush Julian then and confederate with Torgavon. Oh, you poor fool.
We fight for ATHEL LOREN's future.
Indeed, we'll go ahead and release them this time. And enemy of thy enemy. Your attacks upon the Bretonnians have shown them who the dominant power is in the region. Throughout the land of chivalry, from duke down to peasant, the reputation of the Fae folk garners even more fear and respect than ever before. Lord Daith may be blind, but his lack of vision has not stilled his tongue. It is no secret he approves of your actions. Torgavon is now open to joining you in a confederation. Alternatively, you could leave Lord Daith tend to his glade. He will channel its energies to aid you. I mean, we could, but we are the king of the forest. We gain a royal standard bearer, a bit more movement range, and some leadership aura effect. Purple Grail Bretonnians have been felled, which is great. Alright, that hurts our control even further there, but we'll go ahead and start working on solidifying it now that we have all of ATHEL LOREN under our control. Oh, it's a bit sad that Val's Anvil was only tier 3. They do have the tribal stones here, so I'm actually going to leave. This will be our place. Val's Anvil will be where we recruit in our dryads, and Crag Halls will be where we've got our archers. And then Kingsglade for cavalry.
Guardian of the Deep Wood.
Full tier in here, the Waystalker.
I weave the living forest.
What's Daith's army look like? I'm not going to kick all of them out because I definitely want to leave Daith in as a
Proud son of
lord
ATHEL
here.
LOREN.
Go ahead and get rid of these normal Glade Guard.
How can I assist you?
Dryads are pretty cheap. Are we over our limit on heroes? We've got way too many captains. Run over on Waystalkers as well. I'm going to leave us in a negative income for now. We can maintain just fine. We're going to go ahead and take out the Deep Wood Camp building here, which actually loses our access to more Waystalkers, though. Huh. Deep Wood Camp is what's going to go ahead and get torn out. We'll put in the wood building here. We don't really need the Eternal Watchers garrison. It does drop upkeep, which is kind of what's keeping our... I think it's what's keeping our income out of the extreme red. We'll change that up later on. For now, we'll keep in the Hunter's Vault too, do we? Yeah, more growth isn't going to hurt. And then over here, we can just go for, instead of worrying about growth, we can go for just the Wisdom of Hoeth for extra control and research rate, faction-wide. We'll worry about growing the Kingsglade and the Oak of Ages, since these guys are going to be expensive enough as is. We need 15,000 to upgrade the Oak of Ages, and I think that's what we're going to be working towards next.
Anything is
Really like to charge on forward here and break these orcs, but there is no guarantee that we actually survive against what's inside the garrison here. Rug Lud's Armored Works, 165 range. That's no slack. We'll try to get a nice ambush off.
Spellweaver of ATHEL LOREN.
Lovely. We didn't even have to fight some of the other factions in order to gain that. Let's see here. Who are our allies at war with? Fighting Wissenland with us. Let's go ahead and grab, I guess, another ally mission. So Evan's up here next to Reichland. Dieter is... looks like right next to him. And then Elgar is near Nordland. We'll go ahead and accept the mission for hunting down Elgar since he's much closer. Looks like they're trying to hunt down our... They probably don't like that I am inhabiting bits of the Empire. Not one bit.
Master
They can deal with it. Like to... Raiding Midnight is probably not a bad call. Takes 3 turns, but if we can actually get this to finish this time, I'll have a much better garrison. We'll spend a bit of gold to make sure we can make some craftsman's tree here, and then possibly refines gives us a good deal of gold and some wine barrels, which I think are better resources to sell off than fur. Extra replenishment rate sounds good for now, especially while we're punishing Nurgle.
Blade Lord.
All right, now you, Blade Lord Icarin, you're just fine. Oh yeah, we've been able to upgrade Black Pit for some time. It's not that expensive. We'll go ahead and throw in the Hollow. Make things way better defended as well. Alright, sweet.
Orders.
Tultiran hasn't been moved. We've got multiple Tultirans as well now. The Wood Elves don't seem to have much variance in their names.
I will
Go
stop.
ahead and join Dade's army.
Azray.
Then we'll make sure Akka keeps moving on out
Protector
to
of the forest.
investigate what's going on with our
Hunting.
Asur brethren. Alright, Lorelorn Forest is about to have another... About to just spawn in a whole bunch of beastmen to deal with, which will be great for later, but we do still have to deal with them. Outpost available. I'm not going to pay any more money. It's 4,000. A lot of gold. Swing on in here and end the turn.
Your words and heart
Oh,
are
hello,
hollow.
Eltharion.
My
I thought we hadn't met
hands will
anyone.
gorge themselves.
You would like a trade agreement? Absolutely. Alright, Kirak Kieran has come on over to attack Grimhold Yower. Our garrisons are beefy. Holding off the enemy very well. Well, not as well that time. That was a lot of Dawi. We will take the... I'm actually going to go ahead and take the replenishment. I don't know what's behind them, and I'm not going to take any chances. Alright, Lorelorn has another rebellion. It's even more beastmen. Offwub, the Grave Shaker. Broken Axe tribe has failed their law, which is lovely to hear. We've received some awesome new plagues. Beautiful bunch of ambushers, and Arguilan has aborted their missions because we keep kneecapping the people we're trying to take down. Only a fool claims to have nothing to learn. The wise seek the guidance of Hoeth, Lord of Wisdom. More Lord in recruit rank. Now we're researching Kurnos the Hunter, which will give us more income from hunting buildings, and then more weapon strength for all of our cavalry, hawk, and eagle units, and charge bonus as well for the same. Another rebellion about to go off. We really need to start dealing with this. Confederating everyone is a really bad call. Yeah, it seems like we managed to kind of... I think this is supposed to last for 8 turns, and since it was already active, we don't actually add more turns to it. Great. Alright. Well, now that Daith is in, we can go ahead and add him to our Offices of the Hunt. Upkeep for Cavalry, upkeep for Deepwood Scouts. You actually have quite a bit of those, so we'll go ahead and give you the Master of Scouts, even though Daith can't see. The Blind Master of Scouts is awesome. Okay, perfect. Well, let's go ahead and smash the Brass
The
Keep.
hunter.
I'm sure there are going to be some
How
deadly
can I
forces
assist
behind
you?
these walls, but we're not scared. Orion, go ahead and start
I
things
will
up.
make it so.
Oh. Oh, you poor fools. Gonna give us you a decisive victory with low casualties. That would be lame. One more battle here for the episode. We're gonna go ahead and tear down the walls of the Brass Keep. Vengeance for Orion. Alright then. Let's get the deployment started. We'll have to take a look at some of those new units that I saw. I think they're just mostly Chaos Warriors, just with a bit of an more interesting unit model on there for the card. Let's go ahead and grab as many of these guys as we can, get them all ready to start launching shots up and over the wall. Very thankful that these are just Empire towns. Their towers are not nearly as deadly as the ones that Nurgle can bring to bear.
Deep-wood archers! For the eternal
Archers will have the Way Watchers in the center there, kind of just
Archers ready!
a dice of death.
Ready and able! Armed and ready!
Sweet, we'll have the Way Watcher up front with them. Orion ready to kick down the gates.
Ready for the hunt.
Our two armor-piercing Glade Guard.
Eager and ready! Way Watchers!
Lovely. We've got the Wardens of Sithrall. We'll go ahead and keep them back.
Glade Guard!
Fine to let you guys kind of be our front line.
Children of ATHEL LOREN!
Blade Riders as well. We'll want to kind of stay far enough away from this other fort tower so it's not going to be shooting at us. We actually kind of have to push up when the battle begins here. That other tower is back far enough that we're going to have to deal with it.
Wild Riders!
Healing.
I will.
In guard mode. And in... no, we'll keep them in this. You with the infantry here. Everyone's deployed proper. Bring yourselves on over, Zotes and Wild Riders. Zotes are just going to smash on in with Orion. Try to bring down those gates quick.
King in the woods.
Alright. That'll begin.
Winter comes to all.
Go ahead and pull yourselves on over to the other side here. Although we just leave you for here for now, and I get everyone else moving up.
Hand of the forest!
Looks like they're not really set up with those towers just yet, so let's have this whole squad start bombing shots over the wall, and these Chaos Warriors on the other end there. Bit of a lovely rack of doom. We'll drop down the 100% armor-piercing arrows as well. One up. Pull back a little bit and blast over the bound spells.
Riders of ATHEL LOREN!
Blade Riders.
It is
Gotta scoot them forward.
with haste! Will obey!
Bring the Eyes of the Forest around. We'll go ahead and drop down the Ray of Anathrema on these aspiring champs up front here. Why not? We'll wait then, because that'll be great for the aspiring champions.
At pace! Ready to fire!
Armor piercing, let's go ahead and blast those aspiring champs with halberds. Shouldn't have shields.
Eager and ready!
Drop down the heals on all the guys that are getting shot at. Ooh, a bad overcast. That's not great. Can we get a nice Dwellers Below as these guys kind of retreat? Don't mind if we do. Hopefully she doesn't explode herself with the overcast once more here. There we go. Nice. I should rip this unit apart. The roots are hungry.
Deepwood Cavalry! With
Come on over. We'll have every single one of our other missile units, though, start firing on these same aspiring champs. Those ones have great swords? Oh, that's probably a scarier unit. We shall wait. Reinforcements are here now. Awesome. Bring our Glade Captains up. Dindle up. And all of these other archers forward to rain havoc. We can drop down the regrowth on who's taking the most damage here. Really, no one. Keep saving. Great swords are taking some good hits. Let's go ahead and see if we can't with our Waystalker. Before you could drop this down on aspiring champs. Let's go up here and do that. What do you mean you can't?
Lead, Captain!
Doing their best to be an absolute nuisance. Launch them over the wall. Take out as many of those Forsaken as you can.
Wood Rangers!
Takes them forever to get through the walls, even with Siege Attacker there. Kind of coating them in lovely arrows. Let's grab the Way Watchers and make sure they're moving up blast away at these Chaos Knights. Definitely the best use for them. While our infantry just kind of brings themselves on over. Set up in front there. We can go ahead and drop down some heals on both of these spear units. They're taking the brunt of the damage. Alright, we're through the gates. What's in the way here? Halberds? Pull them back.
Swiftly.
No thanks.
Lord
They're not braced now. Charge on in. They are aspiring champs, though, so we will want to keep a very close eye. In fact, you know what? We'll keep back. I don't really want to charge them into aspiring champions. Seems like a really bad call. Oh, Orion's already in. Fair enough. It's too late. Look how fast Orion's getting his health ripped off. Pull him away from that group there. Emit a physical resistance and actually charge him over against these other aspiring champions. They're caught in against the...
Defenders of ATHEL
Pull them back so they don't get caught. Ah, they might have got clipped a little bit by it. We'll let them charge in and kind of slow things down for a moment. Speed buffs. We've got so many archers outside the walls. No artillery, though.
Understood.
Slaughter them.
Keep dropping down that 100% armor piercing. We'll wait till there's some more Forsaken coming on over. Send you guys around to the other side. Through those gates there. On in, and we'll have the Zotes and all the cavalry crash in together against these aspiring champs back here. We definitely need Orion to pull on back. That was a foolish move again. We keep healing him though, which is pretty good.
Armed and ready.
You stand back here, let everyone else just keep launching arrows over the wall. Health bar is dwindling in the background. You don't even have to have anyone involved. Alright, big boys or not, the Zotes are here to play now. Drop down the regrowth on Orion. And we'll have all of our missile troops initially here to come on up and blast at these aspiring champions. Oh, never mind, here's some armored trolls. Give them a hug. This is a hilarious amount of damage. Go ahead and launch some more of the shots of Kurnos up and over the wall. Got plenty of these. Who needs artillery? We have the Glade Captains.
Son of Kronos.
Alright, new target for all of our... No, our archers needed. As soon as they tear apart these armored trolls, that'll be time to switch. Never mind, here they come. Take down that Manticore.
Wildwood Rangers.
I'm not bringing anyone inside the walls. We're gonna keep staying outside and blasting them. They own no towers.
Hawk's talon hungers.
And we're going in and deal with that nonsense. They think themselves brave. Wild Riders up on this next group of champions now. Good for you guys pull on back.
Ride them down.
They're all kind of lingering back in the background. Yeah, it seems like this is going to be going just as poorly for the enemy as it initially said.
Orders understood.
Come on inside the walls, we'll have bring you in as well. Keen on dropping down the others below once they try to start coming through again. All right here, and if I have Orion come on over, we need to take down this Manticore first. Ooh, nice little scatter shot there to deal with them. Represent armor pierce. Cavalry should overwhelm those champions, even though there's a lot of them. Sorry, Festus. Alright, everyone, here's the next target. There's 9 of them only. Oh, okay, never mind. They went behind. You Glade Captains, come around. Try to lose too many of the cavalry in fighting aspiring champions. Pull you guys on out. It's really not a battle for you. It's an obnoxious battle of launch arrows at the enemy from afar. Show them the true meaning of war.
Very well.
And some hounds. Unleash those in the Ungor herd. There's the beef. All over the floor.
Rangers.
Grab all of these
Lead
archers,
guard
all of them.
commander.
Bring them inside.
Moving out. Target acquired.
Wildwood Rangers. Big wood infantry. For Karnos.
They're staying back because they don't want to. They really don't want to come on out. Last bounce. Awakening of the wood.
Orion. Good.
Some arrows. They're all right here together. Perfect shot for our brothers below.
Ready.
We'll have to make a decision sooner or later. Once you guys start attacking their barricades, they usually like to come on in and fight.
Blade captain.
A few more of these. Go ahead and get some trolls to explode.
Highborn captain ready.
Alright, what are you guys doing? Ryan and company. This platform. Everyone with a bow. Tear apart these Lance Knights. Lovely. Everyone else. Do your job. Blade Riders, you guys stay kind of out here. I notice that everyone else is moving in a bit too far. Pull back.
We are tired of
Let you all move in.
ATHEL LOREN.
You get charged, but they've got extra melee defense now, so go for it, buds.
fair. They will die.
Lady of Loren.
No more
Lady of Loren.
Lady of Loren.
Orion.
Get in there, Orion.
Moving swiftly.
I want you to come on around. We can drop down the regrowth on Z's group of war dancers. As that activates, we'll slow everyone down so they can't escape once those arrows start flying.
Ready and waiting.
I am reborn. Yes.
To the fray.
Alright, now we're going to bring in the Cav, have them break whoever's left. Orion and his Zote ripping apart the followers of Nurgle. Oh yeah, now they're here. They're here to ask you a question repeatedly. Eldrazor. Everyone needs some more melee defense, and now let's keep on fighting. Drop the hounds in back here behind these aspiring champs. Just kind of rip them apart. You guys start launching arrows. What are you up to?
For Karnos.
Karnos commands it! Orion's fury!
Let's fly.
I'll have you actually move on into the fray.
I will
Then drop down the Helm of Discord there. Everyone's way weaker. There we go. 4 unfortunate souls.
Children of ATHEL LOREN.
You guys hunt down those Ungor herd. You work on the Forsaken. Drop down the
Eternal Guard. Orders.
extra resistances there. We'll go ahead and go down the Overcast Eels.
Wind
And
weaver.
then just a normal regrowth on whoever needs it over here. Looks like these War Dancers. They're fleeing in droves, though.
Ever ready.
Orion versus the Chaos Knights.
Strength of Karnos.
We do have a bonus to large, mind you.
For our lady.
But we have our own helpers here.
ATHEL LOREN.
Riders of Kurnos.
Lord of the Hunt.
Streets shall be filled with the dead of Nurgle. Those spike shields are awesome, though.
For the Asray.
Trolls aren't really sure what to do because we've got our
Ready.
Azray spears moving in. They don't like losing land. It makes them frown. Which, fair enough. We'll have everyone just move as one big clump. Smash these aspiring champs that are on our way.
Son of Karnos.
The woods rage!
Need to move up. Use those armor-piercing rounds where you can. I want poison on these trolls here. Got to that point pretty quickly. Let's go ahead and move up to... Really not sure. We'll just kind of move up, and if they get jumped by a group, we'll have them fight.
Hail them.
Here's our next targets. Orion, you keep moving, drop down the extra melee defense.
Ever ready.
Flex Tricksters can listen to
It will
speed.
be done.
Lovely.
In them. Orders understood.
More heals. They come on in behind here and throw down the Tormentor Sword as well. No one has any melee attack, and nor can they move.
Deepwood archers. Battle ready.
Bit overextended, but we can drop down some goodies and then run on away.
Lord of the Deepwood.
Meanwhile, everyone else is launching some arrows.
High away.
He aways for Eldrazor. Ryan's starting to take some damage. We need to go ahead and probably pull him back a smidge there. Actually, where's my life mage?
Here if you are.
He's almost out of magic. Poor Nurglings. Slaughtered to the last. Alright. Yeah, more than a decisive victory. Only 74 were lost in the battle. That was a bunch of aspiring champions. I thought these were just Chaos Warriors. That is awesome. Flew right through them. Can't wait to see if Festus comes on over to try anything. If we can crush him, it'll be much, much easier to start moving around here without dealing with all these plagues. We did that with less range and accuracy. We are going to sack the settlement for sure because 10,000 is a ton. Ileana's now on a Great Eagle. That's going to be perfect. And the other one is on a Great Stag. We've also got now a Hunting Hound. Lost Sylvan Knights. These are an ethereal Great Stag Knights. I'm very thrilled we have these.
God King of
Things are looking really, really bad for our enemies now. Perfect. We've got lots of beasts rampaging around. It's time for the Eternal War to continue. Now, though, let's go ahead and turn on around with Orion. We'll have Findle claim the town. That way he can kind of sit in and defend for a moment. Seeding.
Proud son of ATHEL LOREN.
You occupy the settlement. Oh, so they just changed what it's called. I was slightly confused for a moment.
Acceptable.
We dropped it down to a tier 3. That's just for our tier 2. That's just fine. We will go ahead and throw in the Cinnabar Mining Pit and then a couple other good buildings just to things rolling. I think definitely going to grab at least the first tier defense building because it drops upkeep. And then we're going to also, although dropping Corruption with the Undergrowth Lookouts would not be a horrible call. I'll just go ahead and grab the normal buildings there. Wine Nexus. Let's also go ahead and grab the Hunter's Vault since it gives us a bit more on the growth. We can go for the Hunter's Vault and the Craftsman Tree both. We're just going to make Brass Keep very income focused. I'm going to maybe get rid of this one just for now so I can more happily come on into the Oak of Ages and upgrade it. It looks like it's finally time to face off against... Oh man, we're invaded from all fronts, aren't we? Let's go ahead and upgrade the Oak of Ages to the Budding tier. And we need to get in here quickly to defend it.
The Waker of Trees.
Milgen can teleport on him down to the King's Glade. Perfect.
The
Get down there to
Waker
help.
of Trees.
And then Daith can do the same, but with the Oak of Ages. You reach anywhere else.
my axe thirsts for war.
And hit the Crag Halls. Oak of Ages needs to be defended more than the Crag Halls do.
How can I assist you?
Jump here to Oak of
Finding
Ages, and then we'll
pathways.
deal with these invaders in due time. Beautiful. Well, that's all the time I've got for today. I have been at Space Wizard War. Remember to leave a like for the Light God and a sub for the Sub Phone, and I will see you on the next one.